I'd like to welcome the Missouri State Lady Bears. At this time, we have a opening comment from your coach, a very difficult loss.
Yeah, I mean, heartbreaker, just a heartbreaker. Proud of our kids, fought their tails off, gave ourselves a chance, heck of a team Drake is. I mean, they do a great job. Allison does a great job with them, and they put you in so many different positions where they're just so hard to guard. And I thought that our start at the beginning of the game really hurt us, and then I thought our start in the third quarter really hurt us. It doesn't come down to that last play. I mean, that's the last play that we're going to remember. She obviously made a great shot, made a play on it. I don't think we could have played it any better. She stepped up and made a play, but the reality is there were a lot of other things probably along the way that could have contributed to it really being the difference in the game. It certainly wasn't the last possession.
You had several players step up in the second half rally, in the time in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, your defense, you had two different times when you held Drake scoreless in 4-minute increments.
Yeah, I thought our kids showed a lot of toughness, a lot of grit. We got down significantly in the first half. Same thing, into third, fourth quarter, and our kids just kept battling and kept getting stops and put us in a position where we could win it. And again, I think just showed a lot of toughness. Kids step up and made plays. Unfortunately, they made one more play than we did.
Take questions.
We have a question from Zoom. This comes from Wyatt Wheeler. Yes, Coach, you had a foul to give on that last play. How was that considered on the final play?
I honestly, we really didn't discuss it. I felt like, we knew that. I felt like they were going to go in to Miller. I thought we could get one stop. I really did. I thought we could get one stop. I think it's one of those situations where, you're constantly going to second guess everything you did, not just the end of the game, but throughout the game. I mean, it's just natural anytime you lose. But I thought we put ourselves in a position to win it. They stepped up and made a play. I think sometimes it's tough in those situations because especially when there's that little time on the clock, you just don't want to put yourself in a position where, they throw it right in and it turns into being a shooting foul or something like that. But again, it really doesn't come down to, yes, it was the last play, but there were a lot of other things that if we would have tightened up, maybe we wouldn't have been in the position we were in.
Other questions? Go ahead.
In the fourth quarter, this is where you've been player to the coach. In the fourth quarter, you guys were on a 14-0 run. What was working well for you guys during that stretch? Could you talk through it a little bit?
Start with Lacey, then coach in India.
We really took advantage of. I thought Ken played really well for us today. Like Coach said, it doesn't come down to that last play. I think we really locked up defensively during that possession. We showed a lot of toughness, just working together.
And I would say, if I can go back to Wyatt, we discussed it as a coaching staff. I didn't discuss it with our players. So it was just a decision by our coaching staff. But yeah, absolutely, we had discussed it even before it got to that point, what we wanted to do. So.
Like Lacey said, Ken played really well for us, the whole game. We had some other players that stepped up and made big plays for us. So I think just what worked was trusting our offense, trusting our coaches, and just playing well off each other.
Other questions? Go ahead.
We have another question from Wyatt Wheeler. He asks, Coach, do you plan on accepting any potential postseason bids?
I sure hope we have a lot of basketball left in us. I haven't thought much, about it. Our goal is to, put ourselves in a position to be in the NCAA tournament. So that was the ultimate goal. But do I think that we're a team worthy of postseason? Absolutely.
Go ahead and back.
What positives can you take away from this game today?
I think there's a ton. I think there's a ton of positives. We have a young team. None of these kids have played in a championship game. So there's no substitute for experience and having been there and make a run to put yourself in that position. And if I know these kids, this certainly is something that's gonna motivate us in the off season. You want to, it's hard to get to the championship game. It's just hard to get there and then to put yourself in a position where you can win it. But I thought our kids battled. They've done it all year. They've never given in despite what the deficit or anything is. I think every other close game we've won. So I guess the tide turns on this one.
Any question here? Go ahead.
What does it say about your team to keep battling back? I mean, you fell down behind double digits at least 3 times in this game, and they never gave up.
I think that's just the expectation. I think you try to recruit kids that have a toughness and a mentality and just a no-quit mentality and just a competitive nature to them that, despite all obstacles, that you're going to find a way to overcome it. And I mean, I've told our team all along, I think we've always been best when we've been backed against the wall. And certainly today, we had multiple times where we were back against the wall, but we've been in the position before. I mean, we were down 23 at Belmont and just stuck with our principles and put ourselves back in that game at their place to get it back to a possession for possession game. So I feel like we've been in this situation before where kids have had to step up and find a way to win, whether it's we're up or down, it's a close game or not.
Okay, for the young ladies, how difficult was it to continually have to battle back against a team like Drake?
Stacy and then India.
I mean, it was a tough game. We knew going in every game in this tournament was going to be a dogfight. There's a lot of talent in this conference. So, like Coach said, we've been in those situations before. We've had to fight, and it's never easy. But, sometimes it goes our way, and tonight it just didn't.
I mean, yeah, like what you said, like we knew coming this game was gonna be a dogfight. I mean, when we played them earlier this year, like it was the same way. So, just we practiced for this, we prepared for this, so we knew it was gonna be. And just like when the time comes, like we know how to step up and we know how to handle it.
There's another question from Wyatt Wheeler. He asks, Coach, the majority of this group is scheduled to return next year. You always preach about how much experience matters. How do you think this run and coming this close will help these girls going into the future?
Oh, it'll certainly help. I always say there's no substitute for experience, and the more experiences you can get in situations like this, hopefully it's they're all learning experiences, and you can grow from them. Whether it's a bad taste in your mouth or I mean, we had some great moments this weekend. I mean, really proud of our kids. There's a ton we can take from all 3 days. But I think them having now been in a position, they understand maybe a little bit more what you're talking about as you're growing your team throughout a season.
Anything else out there?
Lacey, you put your team ahead twice this weekend, late in the game. Can you just talk about the confidence you have in yourself in taking the final shot in the game?
I mean, yeah, I know my teammates have a lot of confidence in me, and I have a lot of confidence in them. And usually, when we get in those situations, I know that if I go up here, I've got 4 girls going in for a rebound, and I have confidence on them to get a putback. Like Ken had a big putback for us, yesterday against Belmont. So stuff like that, like we just have confidence in each other that if someone doesn't make the play, someone else will.
Thank you very much. Best of luck in the postseason.